Alright, it's time to go back and do all the things I didn't get the first time. Well, there were only two, but they were important. That looks incomplete. Let's fix that.
Yeah.
So first things first, let's grab that upgrade.
Oh!
The Grim Harbinger.
Leaving a dead body hanging from a perch point can keep it from being discovered. Or it can serve as a terrifying warning to all who see it.
We get scarecrows!
And as you'll see, it uses the exact same animation as using bat's prey from a perch, which is really confusing. We're also going to grab one more upgrade, the Smoke Bomb Plus.
A mixture of dried nettle and stingray venom has been added to the powder.
What?
Anyone caught in this cloud will be left choking and coughing.
This is the upgrade that actually disables enemies while they're caught in the smoke bomb, as opposed to leaving them unable to see.
Did I hear that right? Stingray, venom, and metal shavings.
Yes. So this one, when you're replaying the game, or replaying the level, this one's actually really easy. Like, this is in the first major encounter. I think they did this deliberately to make it really easy to get the seal when you're replaying it. So, all you do to do Grim Harbinger is while you're dragging a body, you use grapple. And that activates the Grim Harbinger animation, which looks exactly the same as using bat's prey. But it counts as a different state. So here's some other interesting things. So first of all, this is where the other Hisobu scroll was. At this point, I just didn't give a shit. I just wanted to get the scroll. And this is what it looks like when you get caught, by the way. Just thought I'd show that off. So here's a problem. I died while grabbing the scroll, but...
But did it count?
It did count, but there is a way to read scrolls. There's an option called scrolls. And you could read all the scrolls that you've collected.
A bamboo stalk bends beneath a foot that's in flight from a crimson pool. The ravens vanish as flames lick the roof. Ashes will smother a name. Tomorrow we bite the hand that feeds us today. Either way, we'll eat.
They kind of do make more sense when they're played as one continuous scroll.
Yeah, the entire set of haikus tell a single continuous story about the history of this clan. I wonder what the story of those birds in the background are, those ravens. So we are in Europe. This castle is so big, it takes up the entirety of Europe. Unfortunately, we don't have enough to get any more upgrades for this mission.
Ah, damn.
But Grim Harbinger is still good. Anyway, we're going to go with the Path of Silence to start. It's going to make our running completely noiseless, but we can only carry distraction items and no attack items. And we can't carry a sword.
I wonder how that's going to work.
How are you holding up? The symptoms are subtle at first. Do you feel agitated? Unusually aggressive? They say it can drive you mad, but I'm not so sure.
You'll have to forgive me. I studied for my psychiatry degree while I was working at the tattoo parlor. I may have missed a few classes along the way.
Feel that? Sorry. This is unacceptable. If as I can't straighten this out, well, I'll go to the source and take care of it myself.
Oh, sorry, that was lactic acid. Probably a bad idea. My eyesight's not what it used to be.
You may be cornered, but be careful.
Does that say needles or poison needles?
Hey, come back! You took my teeth with you! Dozon's a great character. I like him a lot.
He does add a little bit of color.
This is your final mission. Stay sharp. This is the one they'll remember you by.
Sorry, this is our final mission. We're at the end of the game already. Oh look, it's raining. Clearly, this thunderstorm is an homage to the greatest stealth game of all time, Vampire Rain.
Those flashes of lightning could give the guards a chance to spot you.
So, thankfully, This game has no regard for the laws of physics, as you can clearly see. The thunder came after the lightning in order to warn you about when it approaches. So take that, Mother Nature.
Hell with you, science!
We have no regard for science if it makes our game more fun and less frustrating. I sense a new move.
Your new mark has heightened your senses. Concentrate, and you can sense everything around you, even through the walls.
So this is called Far Sight. It looks really cool, but I tend not to use it that much, actually. Because the level design is so good that really, even having this overpowered move is not really that beneficial.
Cost you your life.
So yeah, 2 of these levers are attached to deadly traps, and the other one opens the door. And you have to use Far Sight to determine which is which.
So it's the only time they really force you to use it.
Right.
Look at this. It's new gear for Karajan's troops. They can't even fight without these toys to protect them.
There are some levels later on where Farsight is kind of useful, but really, I don't use it that much. It's just a personal preference. Also, you can use your dart to kill rats for absolutely no reason. And, of course, lights.
How are we going to get through there?
Now remember, we have the Path of Silence, which means we don't have a sword. But our running is completely silent. So, sneaking through here is going to be kind of interesting. If we, sit in this corner here, it's like just outside of the cone of vision of the enemy. Right outside.
These helmets really screw with our peripheral vision.
Good. That got the door open.
God, I can't even see straight. I blame the programmers. So there are actually 2 different types of undetected bonuses. There's undetected, and there's also a separate one called oblivious, which you may have seen a couple of times in this LP already. That's a separate bonus for when an enemy passes by a dead body without noticing it. Wow, they just can't get enough of those boxes, can they? Those damn level designers.
Box puzzles.
Well, it wasn't much of a puzzle.
No.
More like a speed bump.
Inconvenience. Box inconveniences.
The Severed.
So, in addition to everything else, you can also use noisemakers to distract the dogs, as well as using scent. And they sort of get hyper distracted by the noise, so you can sneak past them. Same thing with the smoke bomb. So for this guy, we're just going to throw another smoke bomb down and just run past him. When they're disabled, you won't cause an alert when you touch them, which is pretty rare. It pretty much doesn't happen for any other enemy. Like even a sleeping guard there, if you touch them, they will go into alert, but not when they're disabled. With this next section, because the generator we need is over there, it's protected by lasers. We got to be a little more creative with this guard. So I threw down a noisemaker over there to sort of lure the guard over.
Crazy setup can keep us safe.
Sort of create a path. And then throw it down so that I can get the generator down.
So they don't stay disabled for a super long period of time, but it's enough to get past them.
Maybe about 10 seconds, maybe a little longer than that.
Oh, that's actually generous in this game.
Yeah, it's enough to set up for a kill, basically. Or to run past. And like I said, when the with the thunder and lightning, when those lightning flashes appear, it's treated the same way as if you're in a spotlight. So anyone within that straight horizontal cone of vision can see you. Like there. That guard saw me when I was in that flash of lightning.
Gotcha.
Because it's treated the same way as any other spotlight. So here's the first Isoma scroll.
After the war, most ninja went home, but not Master Tetsuji. On a journey along the Silk Road, he met a merchant who promised to restore his youth and glory.
Hara's veterans spin tales over teacups and yawn at the peace.
Oh, that voice is amazing.
Yeah, he is also, as I mentioned in the previous video, he's also one of the actor. Everyone in this game, except for Aura's voice actress, is recycled from Shank and Shank 2.
I give them credit; they really got into the roles.
Yeah. I really like the Canadian guards that they use for default for Hessian's troops. Adds a lot of the Metal Gear Solid charm to it. I think the guard was actually, I think the composer, the main composer, was the one who did the voice acting for the Canadian guards. All right, so down here we got another scroll. This is an area that's completely skippable. This map is huge. So we got another box. There are actually 2 different boxes you're expected to push. However, I found a way to do this with just 1 box, and I'm pretty proud of myself because it's a pretty fun speed strat. Check this out. Elongating your jump just enough with the dart throw.
My bent walking stick, tired of old men's chatter, calls me to my feet.
This is very smooth.
Yeah, the game expects you to push that other box on the right over there. So we're going to switch costumes again.
We want the sword.
Yeah, we're also going to buy a new upgrade.
These caltrops will blanket an area and slice up the feet of anyone who steps on them. Your enemies can't chase you if they can't even walk.
These attack items just keep getting crueler, don't they?
I'm imagining the guards crawling towards you.
So now that we have 2 attack items, we're going to use Path of the Hunter.
Once you have the mark, they treat you like an outsider. Strange, unpredictable, and dangerous. You're as good as vanished.
Well, yeah, if I had caltrops, I would expect to be treated that same way.
Don't even associate with that asshole. He hurts people's feet.
So here's what it's like for caltrops. It immediately disables guards and causes, basically, like, shreds their planters.
Frickin' Legos, man! Get them up off the floor!
It's like connects, like, probably. Really, like, razor sharp connects. Those were like the other Lego alternatives I had when I was a kid. I think that I'm sure there are others, but those are the ones that come to mind.
These Lincoln logs will make excellent kindling the next time we have to burn a building down.
Okay, so this also took a little bit of setup, but eventually I got this guard to be terrorized once he saw the other guy What's he saw the other guy with spike mine? Caltrops don't have a timer. They're always effective until someone steps on them. And for whatever reason, when a guard is terrified, they don't make any noise when they run over the caltrops. And there are also some guards underneath, and I terrorized them by dropping the body down. There's only one guy left. You can kind of hear him screaming in the background. There he is.
Hey, fellas. It's raining men.
He really hates the weather girls. Now, I was kind of counting on him, like, moving to the left, but I forgot that his AI doesn't really... kind of works unpredictably, deliberately so, when he's terrorized. So
there we go.
It took a little longer than expected. Also, I had some problems like moving the bodies on the 2D plane that I wanted there. Another basic timing puzzle here, and still more boxes. You know, it feels like this particular lockpicking section was like an optional seal that they were considering with the cut, like for time, or because playtesters found it too confusing.
But there are guards all over the ground.
Yeah.
We should head down.
Because they're still there.
That will be our best.
There's nothing really else like it in the game. And the commentary doesn't make any mention of it. So yeah, as a reminder, just because we're using the hunter, and that means the QTEs are completed automatically.
It's all over. I hope it was worth it.
I don't know. We got caltrops. I think it was worth it that way. So in an alternate take, I discovered that the dogs kind of are affected by caltrops. They just sort of get stun locked.
Listen. Thought I heard something coming from here.
But it's not really that effective.
Yeah. That's a little disappointing.
Anyway, back to the real take. Unfortunately, this ended up... I mean, I ended up getting the seal that I wanted here, which was to lure an enemy over with a dead body. But it was arduous, and as you'll see, it was kind of pointless to do it on this map. So first of all, I accidentally terrorized the guard, which would have negated the seal, and then I had to go through about 15 minutes of attempts. Normally, this is the kind of thing I would cut out, but on this one instance, I wanted to show what it was like, just to give you some idea of the kind of things that I cut out. But anyway, this is how I eventually got it.
I knew I didn't imagine that.
Because these guys are on two different planes. So normally, normally the game has different protocols for determining when a body has been disturbed, so to speak. Because if the body is disturbed sufficiently, it's marked to cause a guard to become terrorized, as opposed to calling it in for reinforcements, which isn't how the seal works. And then it later turned out that in a map a little later on in this level, it would have been much easier to do it there. And I was really furious with myself for not thinking of doing it there. That was like a good 15-20 minutes of wasted effort, but whatever. It's kind of funny to think on it now.
Looking at me, even the ones that still had blind.
But worth it to show off that they're all open-ended. You can do them
Yeah.
wherever they're possible.
I was trying to set this up with Grim Harbinger, but things didn't quite work out that way. This never ever gets old.
Surprise!
And there are later upgrades that are dedicated especially just to terrorizing guards, and it's always fun to use those. Oh, now you stop screaming. It's because he just couldn't handle the cognitive dissonance of, you know, all of that psychological torment plus the foot pain. I think it was just too much for his vocal cords. So yeah, those guys were just guarding the trophy room, which makes me think that at one point in development, maybe the maybe like lockpicking all of the all of those things was a seal.
When you see that foul color, move fast and try not to breathe.
Okay, I believe you now. Thanks for the heads up, Aura. I just, you know, trust but verify. So the last seal here is to stealth kill all the guards. And of course, that guy doesn't have to worry about breathing anymore, so we can hide him in there.
Perfect.
This looks safe. Oh no! That was a horrible judgment. That was not safe in the slightest. So any of those footholds with the pink icon are unstable, and they will crumble after a few seconds.
I do appreciate it throughout the game.
Yeah. Rarely does a level go by without some new gimmick being introduced. Oh, by the way, I've yet to show this off, but every challenge room has an exit if you want to leave. You just want to fuck off, you can go over there.
So you're not stuck in them ever.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this level, much like ogres, have multiple layers that you have to peel away. This could actually be really difficult, especially because there are some costumes later in the game which give you powerful abilities, but also rob you of the ability to stop time while you're using focus mode. Which you can imagine trying to complete this challenge room in particular with that costume. It was not fun.
Oh.
I do not fear death, but with the leisure of choice, it loses its charm.
Aw, I don't want to die.
Oh, do I have to?
Hey, what was that?
Saved by the rat. Thank you, rat.
The Inquisitor's done. This is all underneath a European city.
Just one castle, which apparently takes up the entirety of Europe in this universe.
Right under the outer walls.
Yeah, so there's also, because I don't have smoke bombs, there is, you see that that gas vent over there. There is the ability to turn off the poison gas underneath here, but because it's guarded by lasers, I don't have the smoke bombs
tools
needed.
necessary
Yeah.
to do so, yeah.
I was just making sure that I had everything here. But yeah, I can't really reach that without dying instantly. So this was fun. This took several trips. But not only that, but also because I'd stored a body there. So the game got confused as to what the B button was going to do. So
Oh, no.
I had to sort of balance out the meter there. I kept ducking back in, and those strings really got into it. By the way, if the meter runs out, you don't die instantly. You start taking damage, and then you will eventually die. But when the meter runs out, it's like an oxygen meter. You start taking damage, and then you die. But yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking. Alright, we're almost done here. So, we got this generator, and we got 3 boys over here. But I have a special ambush plan for them. So we're gonna get the generator over here, disable all 3 of the guards at once. Now, even though I got detected here, it still counts as a stealth kill because that 3rd guard ran into the caltrops after seeing me. So his AI was in like a stealth mode. And this is me just showing off that you can go over there, but I don't have the tools for it. So this is a pretty good level, but it does have kind of an underwhelming ending cutscene. So underwhelming that I didn't even put a title card for it. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Looks like there's nowhere to go but down. Be sure to hold your nose.
That's it.
Well, that was direct.
Hey, at least we got all 9 honor points in a level this time. That was good.
Perfect.
Now, unfortunately, I have some bad news for you.
No.
In my copy of the remastered version, when I try to load the next level, it just puts me into a black void.
What?
Because I can't get out of it. The only thing I can actually do is select different items. Like I can't even use them. I can't go into focus mode. Or I can go into the pause menu. That's the other thing. So, but this Let's Play is not going to end. I have instead recreated basically everything in the original version of Mark of the Ninja. So we're gonna be switching versions over to the original Mark of the Ninja, and we're gonna be continuing the Let's Play on that. On PC, it's basically
very nice.
On PC, it's basically the same game. It's just that the remastered version supports 4K if you have a monitor for that, and it has a different sound mix for 5.1 surround sound. So, I mean, from a content perspective, it's the same game if you have the special edition DLC, which I do. So, yeah, this is going on. It's just going to be ever so slightly uglier, and even then, it's still a really good looking game in the original. So, the show will go on, folks. I promise.